Well, Justin, today is the day. Here it is, your 7548 7000F. This is how it came in. We're missing the rotating ring and the crystal ring, and it looks like the click ball. I'm not quite sure where that is. I see that the hole is empty. I hope the spring is in there. It's still in what's left of your original strap, and it's been breaking since it's been in this bag. It's amazing. These old straps, when they start to fail, they just disintegrate. Just disintegrating. It's amazing. Look at that. They're useless. These old ones, they just break into nothing. It's why I don't use them. Okay, so let's back this up a little bit. Okay. Let's see. Let's get this open, shall we? See what's going on. Get your old buckle in there, though. That's always good. Keep those. Those are nice. Not sure what's up with that hour hand loom. Is that... Oh, it's water intrusion. It cracked in the middle. Okay. So I'm going to want to secure that with some binder on the bottom. You can see, ooh, the dial loom is real delicate. All the moisture that got in there. Huh. It got all that weird puffiness. I'll do my best with it. I'll secure it as best as I can. What in the heck is going on here? Was it reloomed at some point? I need to look at that real closely. That's super funky. Okay. So, the next big question is, obviously I'm going forward. Next big question is a matter of inserts. So, you're missing your rotating ring. Looking through my things, I have a number of different watches, or I'm sorry, watch parts, pardon me, for this model. Hang on just 1 second for me. I'm trying to get this bag open. Ugh, would you stop fighting me? Stop fighting me. There, god damn. Okay. So these are all original. All of these are completely original. Any of the three would do. Obviously, this one has the best color, but it's got a fair amount of bonking on it. This one has more bonking on it. It's a little more faded. It'd be more, I don't know, affordable, I guess is the question, the statement. And this one, original, it's missing its pip, but I would redo that. One of the things I like is that it's ghosted. This is original. You don't see this very often. That is ghosted. Ghosted. Original with some bonking. I think that actually looks pretty good. Original with more bonking. Of course, they're all original. And also, I have this insert. It came out of, I'm not exactly sure what it came out of. It's got some damage. It looks like it got folded here, crimped or something, but I can flatten this. Those marks will always still be there, but I could do that one as well, that insert. I don't know. We'll discuss that further. We get more into it. How about that? Let's get going. Okay, we got the crystal off, which wasn't hard because you don't have a seal. Anyway, there's the crystal. I like the little hair that's in here. First thing, one of the things I always check for with these is we look at the center wheel. See all the hand bonk of shifting around like that? Your the port for the center wheel is terribly, terribly worn. So that is something that we're going to have to do. I'm going to need to machine that out and put a jewel in there. I'm not 100% sure what is up with this dial loom, why it looks so puffy like this. I almost suspect that it was reloomed at some point, because that yellow loom underneath might be the original. I don't know. I'm pretty mystified. I'm pretty mystified. I don't know what to think about that. That's some wackiness. Crazy. Okay. Well, let's move forward. Okay, on this stuff, this dial loom is so delicate. Even just the act of removing the hands, I wasn't even close to this. That loom, this little corner chunk just turned to dust. Same with this. I don't know if you can see, but the dial surface is covered with powdered loom. It's everywhere. So what I think I'm gonna need to do is firm up the dial loom with binder, just to hold it. That's what I think is going to need to do, because otherwise it's just going to come right off. If I try to clean that, it's just going to come right off. Okay, yeah, so the power of memory. So I'm remembering that this watch had a blade strike right here. Somebody, when they were undoing this, screwdriver slipped and it went blink. And so I don't know if this coil is good. I mean, obviously I can get a tester and test it, but often the best way to test things is just to put a bolt of lightning through it and see what happens. So let me do that. See if we're seeing any action in the train. No life. I think we gotta, let me do one test. I'm sorry, I'm sitting here dead air. So, I had to physically move the train to get it to start to go, but it is going. So that's good news. Despite the blade strike, your coil is alive. That is great news. I don't think you can really see it. I'm trying to think. There you go. If you look right in here, that gear. There, you can see it ticking. You can just see those little teeth going by. Okay, that's great news. All right, let's keep going. So, by the way, I forgot to mention you were missing one of the step screws for your battery straps. So I have those, but that's going to be a part on there. This watch is so lucky. Not only did it get a blade strike on the coil, that's acid from an old leaking battery. And this circuit still works. That's amazing. Battery, moisture. Yeah, you see those white crystals? That is battery acid. Oh, and that white chunk there, that's a piece of loom. Eee, that's gonna be fun. So I'm gonna have to get this under my binocular microscope and get it clean, neutralize the acid with vinegar, and get it all clean. But hey, it still works, man. That's something. Okay, let's go. It's amazing. So I pulled the train. I'm still looking at the underside of the movement here. This is where the fourth wheel sits, fourth wheel and pinion. This is what the second hand turns on. Imagine there's a gear right here. Look at that, more of that acid. Those crystals. Pretty, some acid staining here. Not bad, I've seen worse. I've seen it where the acid is sat on here. It's eaten right through this plating into the brass. Look at that, more acid. Yikes. Gross. But good news, this is your stem here. Here's a great thing. You still have your stem washer. Isn't that nice? Those almost always get lost. And I have them, but they're getting harder and harder to find. So there's your stem washer. That's great news. Here's one of these situations I see with a lot of 754s. This is the date driving wheel. right here, plastic. And what happens over time, and I'm not 100% sure why, though I have my theories, is I think because it just gets dragged and worn and dragged and worn, it just starts to grip, and then it just absolutely does. I'm putting a lot of pressure into that to turn it. I should be able to use a blower to blow that around, and it just doesn't want to move. So I'm going to have to relieve the inside of this. Not a big deal. It's just one of those things, but it did not want to move. That's something we see. And there's that center reel port right there. You can see that it's wanked out on one side. Darn it. Looks like it's yeah, it's a nice oval. So we'll get to clean that out. Lots and lots and lots of battery acid staining. This isn't just battery acid, this is actually surface etching. And there was some under the date driving wheel as well. Okay, well, let's get this machined out and put a jewel in there. Okay, so out of the cleaner, and it's interesting to see, like I said, you can see the etching from the battery acid. These aren't acid crystals or anything, it's literally pitting, etching in the plating itself. There's nothing loose here. It's all good. Anyway, there's the new jewel in place, so that's good. Nothing to it but to do it. Let's go forward. Okay, coming back together. Just a real quick note. You will remember that this batter strap was screwed down on this side. When I pulled it up, I noticed that the rest washer for this was missing. I don't have a replacement. They're actually kind of rare, but I have the ability to make one. So I'll make a rest washer here for you. Just FYI. So let's see the initial numbers. Hang on just one second. Let's see. Okay, this is just plugged in. Obviously it's running. We're gaining almost a second a day. So we're going to want to deal with that, obviously. I think I've got the wrong screwdriver. Well, maybe not. There, counterclockwise. Let's see what happens. Remember waiting for gate 10, so 10 pieces before 10 clicks before we get a new number. Staying about the same, huh? Maybe I didn't actually move it. Maybe it only felt like I moved it. Let me get a wider bladed screwdriver. Hang on. That is not what I want. That is not what I want. Okay. Let's try that again. A different screwdriver this time. Yeah, I think I wasn't moving the screw. Okay, so here we go. Now, let's look and see what happens. Aha, see, an improvement. I love these variable timers. It's so nice to be able to really get a nice tight fitting for people. Yep, we're getting there. We are getting there. So that's a third of a second per day positive. Okay. Let's do it again. Ooh, 17. Okay, let's see what happens here. 13. I want to wait for another gate to go by and see if we get anything different. Let's take it down a little more. The nice thing is if you go too far, it'll just start rising again, so. Huh. Well, that'd be nice. Sorry for the yelling. I don't believe that. Well, maybe. Okay, so now we have to go clockwise. Let's go clockwise. And by the way, going counterclockwise or clockwise, it doesn't, it's 6 1 half dozen the other, because the accuracy on this is a sine wave. It goes up and up and up and up until it goes down, 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 down. So there's no, like, you know, counterclockwise is always slower and clockwise is always faster. It doesn't work that way. Yeah, lots of screaming. I'm at the end of the day. You can tell everybody's home. Good God. Come on. Because after this, I'm going to want to let this movement run in overnight, and I'll get back to it tomorrow. Come on. We're getting there. Ever so slightly. Ever so slightly. I mean, that's, what, about 0.2 of a second slow per day, but we can certainly get better than that if I can find the slot. Negative 2/100ths of a second per day. Let's wait for the next gate. I mean, that's crazy accurate, but I'll just see if I can just move it just a titch. That's probably going to be too much. I don't know where it's going to land. Not bad, considering that we started with a movement that wouldn't even turn over because it was so glued together. That's pretty darn accurate. I'll just wait for one more gate, and then I'll leave it overnight, and we'll see how it does. Hey, look at that, huh? I don't think I'm going to be doing any more fiddling with that tonight. Yeah, let's cap it and just be done with it. Okay, see you tomorrow morning. Okay, good morning. Here we are, doing stuff. I assembled the watch. I checked the numbers. I assembled the watch. I put on this insert, though I don't know if that's what you're going to choose. It just made me happy, so I did that. I did, and then we had to run a bunch of errands, and so the watch has been running cased. And I just did a bunch of little adjustments. Again, it had jumped to about 1/10 of a second per day, and so I've been adjusting it down very, very, very slowly. And this is what we're getting: extremely steady. So, I mean, I'd call that good. I mean, 1/100th of a second per day is extraordinarily accurate. I love these movements, and they're just so variably, the variable adjuster is just awesome. Yeah, it's awesome. Can't ask for better than that. I always like to have it gaining just a little, like I said, so that you're gaining time instead of losing it, so you'll be early instead of late. Slow is not as good as ever so slightly fast. I mean, that's That's pretty steady. That's a good job. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain. Okay, well, let's break, go back over to the bench, and let's talk about rotating rings and inserts. Okay, so now it is decision time. We have 4 inserts. Really only 3. The fourth one, I'm looking at this real closely. I actually think this is an aftermarket insert. I think this is one of Harold Yoboki's. The tell is the pip is like a modern plastic with modern loom. I don't think that's original. I mean, it looks nice, but I don't think it's original. So of the originals that we have, 1, 2, and 3. Now again, this one would need me to rebuild the pip because the pip is missing. These 2 have original pips. So let's go 1, 2, 3. We got 3 choices. Let's say that, okay? So we have the original ghost bezel. Imagine there's a pip there. Okay. That's 1. 2. It's got a fair amount of wear on it, but it matches the case. And the loom matches the dial. Speaking of that, there's that dial loom. A lot of it came off. Not came off, but a lot of the very top stuff was just literally just dust, just turning to dust. I firmed it all down with a clear matte lacquer that's soaked in. You can't even see it, but it's holding everything together. But I had to go over it numerous times to get it to sit down. It was still shedding material, but it's good now. I firmed up the loom on the underside of the hour hand too, so that is stable. Okay, so that's rotating ring number 2. This is rotating ring number 3. Again, it matches in terms of condition. Now, I hesitate to do this because I don't want to make the other inserts look bad. This is what I believe is an aftermarket insert from Yoboki's. I guess let's go through them again, and you can look at them again and make a decision, and then we'll go from there. Ghost bezel. Actually, how about this? Why don't we go do this in natural light, okay? Okay, here we are, natural light. So let's do it. So we have some fuzz on the crystal. Let's try that again. I think that's, well, I don't know. We'll see. Doing stuff as we come along here. There we go. So we have, there's 1. Here's 2. This, by the way, is down here because I'm have this set to near midnight to push over the date just to double check that action. There's 3. And there is 4, which again, I believe is an aftermarket insert from Yoboki's. So, you tell me what motivates you. You tell me what you think. Original, aftermarket insert, 1, 2, 3, 4.